I got shuttle dash.
So what are you using this time, streamer or TVU?
It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon to see these orange flag warnings after heavy rain, but for a lot of beach goers I've spoken with today, they either roaming around, chilling. You want a water? I'm good. Well, Drainage District number 2 says they're redirecting the water from the flooded neighborhoods and into the ditch right here behind me. They tell me that construction will soon.
Mic check. Mic check. I can hear you. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good.
Check. Okay.
Yep, gotcha. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Gilbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Mustang, this is Voodoo 3. The remaining MiGs are bugging.
This is Chris 6 News at 6.
Very good evening to you on this Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paul Mueller in for Katya. Right now, record rains, fierce flooding, and now some clearing skies. We continue our team coverage tonight of its effect here in the coastal bend. Peter Vance looking into the high levels of bacteria in our coastal waters. Andrew Christensen and Rob Sound with a look at drainage issues there. Javier Guerra continues his coverage with the latest on hard-hit Rockport and around Hemi in Sinton, where the rain has flooded an RV park there. But first tonight, we are going in depth on a story we first reported last night, the high bacteria counts in our coastal waters. Last night, we told you about the orange flags now flying at our beaches. Those flags put up to warn beach visitors about the high bacteria levels in the water. And those high bacteria levels are the result of the heavy rain. So the question, where did the bacteria come from and what are the potential health risks? Our Peter Vance going in depth on this story. He's live tonight from Padre Island. Peter?
Thanks, Paul. It's not uncommon to see these orange flag warnings after some heavy rain, but for a lot of beachgoers I've spoken with today, they either completely miss the sign or they don't know what it means at all.
I'm a very vigilant person. I'm very observant of my surroundings, and if I could come onto the beach and just not even, then no, they did not, to be honest. I'm sorry, they just didn't.
The flags raised Thursday evening thanks to runoff that carries trash and animal feces to the Gulf. Swimmers should be careful while swimming when there are orange flags up. Health officials say that's when people are more at risk of getting cuts or wounds infected. People at the beach became concerned when they learned about the dangers that come with the orange flag.
I saw a lot of little kids, and I'm a mom, so if my son was here with me, I wouldn't let him in. So I would hope that they would yield the same amount of caution. However, that's fine. I mean, to each their own.
Officials say the beach water is tested regularly and say bacteria level won't go down until the rain stops. Locals who have seen the flags before feel it's up to oneself to stay informed about the water's condition.
I kind of think it's my job to see that it's orange and look at the legend, and if I'm concerned, to do my part to maybe investigate further.
As you can see behind me, these swimmers have not been taking this warning very seriously, and there's still plenty of people out there in the water, but you can keep tabs on high bacteria levels in the beach water on our website at christv.com. Reporting live on Padre Island, Peter Vance, Chris 6 News.
Watch out for those orange flags, Peter. Thank you. And tracking the coastal waters used by the public, that is the job of the Texas Beach Watch program. Take a look. Congress passed the Beaches Environmental Assessment and Coastal Health Act back in 2000, designed to protect our health in coastal areas. That led to the state's involvement in the Texas Beach Watch program in 2001. Under the program, water samples collected from all coastal beaches, including Aransas, Clayburgh, Nueces, and San Patricio counties. Samples collected once a week during peak beach season from May to September. During the rest of the year, every 2 weeks, though one exception weekly testing in March due to spring break. And now tonight the question, what are those water samples being tested for? Well, they are looking for Enterococcus bacteria. That bacteria can be found in human waste, and if you're exposed to it, you can get sick. Symptoms include diseases of the skin, eyes, ears, and respiratory tract, though there is one more dangerous bacteria in our coastal waters they don't test for. We're talking about Vibrio, the so-called flesh-eating bacteria. Now, this bacteria occurs naturally in coastal waters, and health officials advise that you stay out of the water if you have a cut or open wound. A Vibrio infection can lead to severe illness, maybe even death. Well, everyone is looking forward to that man. Chief Meteorologist Dale Nelson. And the question, Dale, will it be sun or rain this weekend? We're praying for sun.
Well, it's going to be mostly sunny, so we are going to dry out, although there is some rain in the area north of Beeville right now on our weather bug camera, and also Cal Allen looking south, you can see a little bit of activity too. We have the flash flood watch for about another hour in the region. Rain today was heavier from east of Beeville down to Portland and over to Rockport and Port Aransas. South and west, not so much. Satellite and radar shows the development of this. There's our upper level low pulling away from us, but it is also dragging moisture in from the south, and we're going to see some rain here this evening come up from the south. It's near Baffin Bay right now. It won't be necessarily right along the coast, but inland areas are going to get soaked once again later this evening. Right here in a few minutes, I'll have all the details for you in the complete forecast. Paul?
All right, Dale, we'll see you then. Thank you so much. Turning our attention to Robstown tonight. Crews there out in full force today working to clean up the mess. And our Andrew Christensen live there tonight. And Andrew, they certainly had a big job on their hands, no doubt about it.
Definitely, Paul, definitely a big job. And there's a few methods of doing that job. Now, one of the methods they use is they vacuum out the water from flooded neighborhoods and into a truck. But one of the other methods that they use is they pump out the water from flooded neighborhoods and into this ditch behind me. It's a familiar sound for Robstown residents helping solve a reoccurring issue, flooding. And for Daniel Beltran with Nueces County Drainage District 2, it's something he grew up with.
My grandfather and my great-grandfather, they both worked and retired from the drainage district. So it's good to follow in their footsteps.
It's a daily grind for Beltran, pumping water from neighborhoods and into Bosques Ditch and then into Ditch A, sending the water out further east. And that pump is helping to alleviate water on Highway 44, but at times the job could be challenging. Working sometimes for 24 hours, it's not just a job of action, it's about being prepared.
So when it's not raining, or at least in the last 45 days, 60 days, the district has been focusing on hurricane preparedness, clearing out, cleaning up the ditches. So when we get these rain events, it's not, we're not caught off guard.
Carmen Elizondo says water getting inside her home is a constant problem, causing her to lose furniture due to flood damage. And she says the stress is affecting her health.
Over the years, I have had 2 blackouts on this. I'm old, and I cannot do much by myself if nobody helps me.
Drainage District 2 asks homeowners like Elizondo for patience as they work to clear these neighborhoods from floodwater. Beltran says he takes pride in helping those in need.
Being able to work and serve in this community, we care about a lot for each other here, and we do things for each other that, you're trying to help thy neighbor.
And Drainage District number 2 tells me that construction will soon begin on Bosques Ditch, and that construction will widen and deepen the ditch so water can pass by freely. Reporting live in Robstown, Andrew Christensen, Chris 6 News.
Sounds like good news for the neighbors there. Thank you, Andrew. And now to the hardest hit area in the coastal bend. Of course, we're talking about Rockport. Right now, the city is seeing a big break from that nonstop rain. Our Javier Aguirre has been there all week in Rockport tonight with more on the cleanup with one family in particular. And Javi, have they ever seen anything like this before?
Hey, Paul, they've never seen anything quite like this, and that's because they've gone through several hurricanes here in the area. Now, the city of Rockport has issued a declaration disaster, and that declaration states that the city has seen rain amounts of a whole year experienced in just 1 week. Now, the worst flooding Roland Solis and his mother have experienced since she's lived in Rockport. The family's home is on Pearl Street. They first moved in 1972 and have never seen flooding in the home like they did with these storms. Roland said that when he woke up, he noticed the water was up to his ankles throughout the home. He also said that the vehicles passing through the flooded streets made the situation even worse.
We had waves hitting the house, which whatever the trucks were doing, that brought water into the house.
Now, the break in the rain has given Rockport Drainage a chance to go ahead and get all of these flood waters out of the street. As you can still see, several streets and several neighborhoods here in Rockport remain flooded. But residents here are hoping that the rain that is expected throughout the weekend washes out and does not affect them. Reporting here in Rockport, Javier Guerra, Chris 6 News. Back to you, Paul.
It looks a lot better tonight than it has. Javier, thank you. An RV park in Sinton flooded out. Tonight, the owner says she has had it with all the flooding. She's not blaming Mother Nature, though. She says it's TxDOT's fault. And Iran Hammy continues our live team coverage tonight from that RV park in Iran. So what's the big problem here?
Well, rain's part of it, but it's actually this drainage ditch right here next to the park that's getting a lot of the blame. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you that we did not want to risk taking our news vehicle into this front gate.
I estimated over $30,000 in damages here already.
Glenda Hammond is fed up with her Mesquite Haven RV park flooding. It doesn't flood because of the rain, but because of a drainage ditch overflowing.
I can't continue to lose my property and keep trying to build it back over TxDOT not doing their job and cleaning the drainage ditches.
TxDOT is in charge of the drainage ditch located along US 181. Hammond claims the ditch hasn't been cleaned in years. It's resulted in her losing money from damages and people moving out because of the flooding.
I've got freezers that have been underwater that have ruined. One I just paid $1,000 for, and they're ruined. I've got 2 Connexes full of furniture for my trailers and stuff. Everything in there is ruined.
Residents tell me they're suffering from water damage too. Some can't even leave or get into the park in fear their smaller vehicles will get stuck in the high water.
My car is almost, the water is almost going inside, so it's gonna take a long time to go out for water and all that stuff. So.
It was Wednesday. TxDOT took some action. Hammond said a maintenance supervisor tried to stop the bleeding.
He did the best he could do, but by that time it was already flowing onto my land, so he was having to just work in mud. I just wish they would have done something, you know, if they had to get out here and put sandbags, you know, and instead of letting me do everything, having to deal with this every year. But no, I got nothing from them until day before yesterday.
I spoke to a TxDOT spokesperson who's aware of the issue, and he did confirm with me there's a contract in place for this fall. They'll come out here and clean and regrade the ditch. Hammond says anything is better than nothing. Reporting live in Sinton, Iran Hammy, Chris 6 News.
Very true there. All right, Iran, thank you so much. Still to come tonight on your news at 6. Do you qualify for the child tax credit from the IRS? You could get this and not even know it. The story you're going to need to see, that and a whole lot more is coming out.
This is the Rebound Coastal Bend, brought to you by Conviva. Visit us at convivacarecenters.com.
Welcome back tonight. Some Coastal Bend families could soon start receiving monthly payments from the IRS. Maybe you. This is all part of the federal government's child tax credits. But here's the thing. Some people don't even know they qualify, and one local organization is now helping out residents. Our Patrick Johnstone has more information for the Rebound Coastal Bend.
United Way of the Coastal Bend will host a free event this weekend to help people find out if they qualify and even help them sign up.
There still might be people that don't know they qualify because they haven't filed taxes. So by them coming in this Saturday, we'll be able to see if they will qualify for the child credit.
According to the organization, those who qualify are parents who did not file taxes in 2019 or 2020, or people who don't make enough to file taxes. United Way will help people file the necessary paperwork to send to the IRS so they will receive the tax credit. This advance is only for the 2021 tax year.
The intention of the child credit is to help families get out of poverty.
Celine Butanda will be helping at the event, but she also falls in the category of receiving the advance.
So to me, it's a relief because right now it's a way of me helping me pay some of my bills.
Sarah Yanez is a mother of 4. She said this will be great for families who need it.
We're all so used to having to kind of scrimp and save during these times, and having something available to us that is usually available at the end of the year. I was in shock.
And she said the extra money will be helpful for people to have in case of an emergency.
So when your car breaks down, it's a little bit more convenient to have that money that you've earned available to you, so that way you can fix your car to have the ability to go to and from your job.
United Way of the Coastal Bend's event will happen here at the Goodwill on Southport Avenue Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, and it is free and registration is not required. For a list of the documents you will need to bring, head to our website, christv.com. Reporting for the Rebound Coastal Bend, I'm Patrick Johnstone.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't know, right? Have you got big plans for the weekend? The man himself, Dale, is up next to tell you if you're going to need your sunglasses or your umbrella or maybe both. Stick with us.
Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dale Nelson.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Friday. And I got to tell you, this has been a week to remember rainfall-wise, especially over the northeastern quadrant of the coastal bend, stretching down into Nueces County and parts of Claybrook County. South and west, especially from Kingsville to Falfurrias, a lot less. But those areas got more rain back when we had the big rains in April that started all this and ended our drought. But the most rain was around Rockport at 20 inches. We heard from Sharon Smith up there, Smitty. And she said she had 19.6 inches of rain over there on South Pearl Street. And so that's about 7 months worth of rain this week in Rockport. And here in Corpus Christi, we've had our share too, but not like they've seen north and east of us. And it happened again this morning from Portland over to Rockport and back to Refugio and Bayside and Sinton and just east of Beeville. And now we have these thunder showers from Alice, south of Kingsville and Rivera, moving up from the south, including Baffin Bay. So we've got more rain coming this evening if you have outdoor plans, especially out here around Alice along 281 just to your south, moving into your region between there and San Diego. We hit 90 this afternoon in spite of the cloud cover, and officially, even though there was a high percentage chance of rain today, we didn't have any recorded officially at the airport, but we are 14.14 inches above normal for the year. Most of this rain did not fall in the watershed. We also had some pretty large water releases at the end of June, so we're only up to 84.3% on the lake. That is a big rise from yesterday, but our combined system capacity compared to yesterday has only gone up 0.4%. So even though we've had these huge rainfalls, we're not going to make it to 100% of capacity with this. Most of the rain falling below the watershed, the key, north and west from Lake Corpus Christi back to the west. 88 right now, southeast winds at 13. There's the upper level low. Again, it's backing off to the west. We have this moisture coming up from the south right now, and then that's going to be about it as high pressure moves in from the east. There's the low pulling away from us. Here's the high coming in. That's the weather pattern for the weekend, and with that, we'll have sinking air here on late tomorrow and into Saturday, so we'll dry out. Take a look. Very moist here tomorrow morning at 6:30, and then it dries out considerably by Sunday morning, and that trend continues with only stray to isolated showers at best next week. Isolated showers in the morning after some showers coming up from the south this evening. Then tomorrow afternoon, a couple stray inland showers. That's about it. And then tomorrow night will be pretty quiet. And then also on Sunday, a day that we will get a chance to dry out and get a chance to walk the dog this evening. Here's what you're looking at. Temperatures in the low 80s, a light breeze, and overall not too bad, but watch for those showers down to the south. Highs tomorrow, upper 80s to low 90s across the entire region. Our Wednesday are going to be breezy here tomorrow afternoon, light in the morning, but for the deep sea roundup, better than it was today with a beach forecast that calls for the conditions to be improving tomorrow over what we had today. 4 to 7 foot seas and a moderate rip current risk. Here is a look at your 7-day forecast, and it looks like this with 88 tomorrow and isolated showers mainly in the morning, inland in the afternoon, 91 on Sunday, and temperatures hovering into the low to mid 90s by the time we get to the latter part of next week as we continue to have sweltering heat after all this rain. Paul.
I love all that sun, Dale. Thank you so much. Up next, a touching story about the friendship between two local veterans who will soon find themselves separated.
What I'm concerned about is when I leave, he's got nobody.
Mayor or whoever. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1
Welcome back. There's no question veterans share a bond. Many forged lifelong friendships. Sometimes, though, those friends have to say goodbye. Tonight, our Veterans Issues reporter Greg Chandler live in studio with the story of a veteran looking for someone to look after his friend that's once he moves away. Greg?
Yeah, Paul. Roy Tansel and Glenn Allen Mitchell have been friends for about 25 years, ever since Tansel moved to Corpus Christi. They see Tansel is soon leaving the Coastal Bend, and he wants to make sure his friend has someone after he moves.
Like another good friend of his. I moved to Corpus Christi back in '96 because of windsurfing, and I met Alan. He was in the windsurfing club at the time.
Roy Tansel and Glenn Allen Mitchell quickly bonded over windsurfing.
I was the editor for the windsurfing club's newsletter, and he used to provide me with cartoons.
This former airman and Korean War vet soldier have been friends ever since, though neither does much windsurfing these days. Mitchell still draws and stays creative. And that's good, because according to the website, aplaceformom.com, one of the benefits seniors get from visitors is staying emotionally engaged. Another is evaluate health, safety, and well-being. Tansel says he's seen his friend steadily decline since the pandemic started.
This past year, with the nursing homes not allowing anybody in, not allowing those who are in out, he has really gone downhill.
Tansel is planning on moving back east to be closer to his wife's family. He's not sure when he's leaving, but it is coming. He says Mitchell knows and doesn't want him to leave.
What I'm concerned about is when I leave, he's got nobody.
That's why Tansel wants to find someone for his friend, someone to keep Mitchell engaged and cared for. And Tansel says he's more than willing to facilitate the first few meetings so that everyone is comfortable in the arrangement. We'll let you know if we can find someone for him. And if you are interested, just give our hotline a call. For Veterans in Focus, Greg Chandler, Chris 6 News.
We know we'll make it happen. All right, thanks, Greg. Dale up next with a final check of the forecast. Keep it here.
Welcome back. Well, the rain is starting to wind down. We had a lot less today than we've seen any other day this week. This all started Sunday night, but we do have showers and thunderstorms to our south in the Alice and Kingsville area over to Baffin Bay. They are working to the north-northwest very slowly, so some areas are going to get hit this evening with that rain, especially up around Bishop and maybe as far east as Robstown. It looks like it'll miss the island and the areas in San Patricio County that got the deluge last night. Here is a look at the day planner for tomorrow. Only isolated showers in the morning, 78 at 7, 84 at noon. The high tomorrow, 88. We'll start warm at 78. And the weekend forecast, we dry out further, and with that, we heat up here on Sunday and 91 degrees. So make it a good weekend as we dry out here in South Texas. Paul.
From one extreme to the other. Dale, thank you so much, and thank you for watching tonight. We'll see you right back here with the very latest on these conditions at 10. Till then, good night.
I never asked questions I don't know the answer to.
Mike check, Greg. Mike check, 1, 2. Mike check, 1, 2. Mike check, Mike check, Mike check. We can just get today over with, please.
When you're ready.
All right, in 3, 2, and 1. Roy Tansel and Glenn Allen Mitchell have been friends for 25 years, ever since Tansel moved to Corpus Christi. But Tansel is soon leaving the Coastal Bend, and he wants to make sure his friend has someone after he moves.
Do you want to redo that? No.
Don't care. 3, 2, 1. Tansel says he's more than willing to facilitate the first few meetings so that everyone is comfortable in the arrangement. If you're interested, just give our hotline a call. For Veterans in Focus, Greg Chandler, Chris 6 News.
Later period.
We want to keep each and every one of our employees safe.
That aren't working, and she's got newscasts that aren't covered. She's got
This is Chris 6 News on Demand.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for logging on. I'm Paul Mueller. Cleanup underway right now across the coastal bend after this week's relentless rain. Workers with Nueces County Drainage District Number 2 spending the day pumping water from flooded neighborhoods and transferring it into nearby ditches like the Bosquez ditch on Highway 44. That's right in front of Robstown High School. Water from there pumped into what crews call Ditch A, sending the water out further east. Now, the process can take 24 to 36 hours. Crews, some of them pulling 24-hour shifts until the work is done, and they say the work can be challenging.
We want to keep each and every one of our employees safe, and you know, it's kind of hard like that. You know, the rain slips and falls, and there's a current in all these ditches, and if you fall in, you know, something bad can happen, so you want to make sure that we keep each other safe out here.
Drainage District 2 says construction on the Bosquez ditch will begin within the next 2 months. The project will widen and deepen the ditch to allow stormwater to flow more freely. Meantime, the city of Rockport issuing a disaster declaration due to the floods. It states the city has experienced, no, this is wrong, a year's worth of rain in just 1 week. I can't. I know. I'm sorry. We got to redo.
Well, how are you going to phrase that?
I'm going to just go right. I'm going to zip right through it.
How about just say 20 inches of rain in 1 week? You can say 20 inches of rain in 1 week.
Can't keep perpetuating that fake.
That we just stopped on.
Okay.
We're about a minute left out of that. So just a 3-2.
3, 2, 1. The city of Rockport issuing a disaster declaration due to the floods. It states the city has experienced so much rain in just 1 week. The break in the rain now giving the area's drainage time to do its job. Authorities ask that if roads are still blocked off and flooded, do not go through them. Checking in now with Chief Meteorologist Dale Nelson. Dale, the rain continues, or we're going to see some sun?
Well, we are going to see both, but primarily sun going forward as we slowly dry out. It's just not going to end all at once abruptly, but it is going to happen. We do have this evening some showers coming up from the south right here that will be moving over much of the coastal bend later this evening as we approach sunset. And still tropical moisture in the Gulf will deliver isolated showers and mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. But there's the rain coming up this evening. It's moving north-northwest, so it should bypass most of the city just a little bit to the west of us. 80s rule the region right now, but where it's been raining in Falfurrias, they're down to 75. Tomorrow we'll be back up to 88. Thanks, Paul. That was even better. Say due to the rain, due to the heavy rain this week. I'm going to call him after the.
It was just generic, but you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds great. It sounds.
Due to so much rain.
Yeah, it sounds terrific, but it's just not true.
When you're ready.
All right. Ready? Coming in 3, 2, 1. Tropical moisture slowly leaving the area. The upper level low that was over us for much of this week has now backed off to the northwest of us, still dragging some of this moisture through the region and actually in the evening hours pulling this rain up from the south. So we are going to see some more rain here this evening and overnight, but only isolated showers expected tomorrow as the main upper level low pulls away from us with the instability. The moisture will remain and it'll be very humid here at the surface and hot during the day. 88 degrees here right now, but where the rain's been coming down, Falfurrias has just 75. Our 88 goes down to 80 by midnight. There's the shower activity after midnight, scattered about the region, turning isolated, so less coverage here tomorrow, a lot less, and the winds fairly light, under 10 miles an hour to start the day. The day planner for tomorrow, 78 at 7, 84 at noon. There's the isolated showers, but it tapers off and heats up tomorrow afternoon and on Sunday.